What is happening, Metal4Metal Universe? We are here for episode 34 of some killer fucking news for you guys tonight, including Between the Buried and Me's new single, the re-release of Metallica's legendary EP, the 598 EP, which you had a chance to buy back in the day, but we'll get into that a little bit later.
Didn't happen.
Did not happen. Killer topic for you guys tonight, including albums from 1998 and 2008 that turned 20 years old. We're going to kind of look back at that, some of our favorite albums from those times. It feels like a long time ago. And
it actually was quite a long time ago.
It was quite a long time ago. And then our main news topic tonight, guys, is finally Slayer is calling it quits. So it's all here. It's all fast, live here on Metal4Metal. What is up, Metal4Metal Universe? I'm PJ Steven. That's Dennis Parker, and we're here to give you a kick-ass fucking episode of Metal4Metal News. Episode 34 is going to be one for the books, ladies and gentlemen, because we have a great stack of news for you guys tonight. Really stacked up. Love the shit.
Normally we actually record this shit on like Sunday or something, but we made a special point to record
We did because of today. Some crazy news that we were going to be getting into later on. But I'm going to touch on it right now.
Probably the biggest thing we've actually, the most thing that's ever mattered to me since we started doing the show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a band that we have all loved. If you're a heavy metal fan, you love this fucking band. It is Slayer!
Yeah.
And they are finally calling it quits, guys. The final tour will be going on pretty soon. We're going to get into that a little bit later. Of course, as you hear, Hell Await starting up with my Decade of Aggression live album from Slayer.
Yep.
It's such a beautiful record. But before that, we have some first news for you guys, which is some Between the Buried and Me news.
Between the Buried and Me news, yeah. Between the Buried and Me has a new video, Condemned to the Gallows.
Yeah, killer song.
Yeah, great song.
I've always liked Between the Buried and Me. I really have.
Yeah, I like this song. It's very progressive to me. It sounds to me kind of like maybe more of a, I don't know. It sounds something kind of like Opeth, I guess. Like I don't really know how to describe it. It's very different from what they used to do.
You know, if you hadn't told me that was Between the Buried and Me,
I never would have known. I wouldn't have guessed it.
I would have guessed it because
you would have guessed it.
Yeah, I like the way their technicality will go in with their progressiveness. I love that. They are very technical metal band, and you don't see a lot of that nowadays. The record they dropped in 2003, Silent Circus, right?
That's like their.
I love that record from from A to B. I love that record.
Yeah, I actually there was when I worked at Hot Topic at the mall.
This is a good story.
Yeah, some guy came in and he was buying like a Between the Buried and Me shirt or whatever, and like I had the Silent Circus at the time. Like one of my ex-girlfriends. Her brother or something gave it to her, and she wasn't into metal or whatever, so she gave it to me. So I listened to it, and it was okay. But like this guy came in and he was talking to me about it, and and he was just like, talking blah blah, and he was like, how do you like it? And I was like, it's cool, but it's not exactly my cup of tea. And he was just like, yeah, well, you kind of have to have like a certain kind like level of intelligence to understand like the complexities of the music. And I was just like, really? Like, you're right, or maybe
so you're not smart enough to understand Between the Buried and Me.
Maybe I'm just not smart and important enough to understand the music, or maybe it's just not my thing.
You think Pig Vomit would understand Between the Buried and Me since he's smart and important?
He might.
That's an inside joke.
He might.
But anyway.
But I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it too. I digress. But again, can't wait for this record. Between the Buried and Me, they don't put out a whole lot of shit. You've seen them live, haven't you?
I might have at Ozfest or something.
Yeah, you saw them at Ozfest. Yeah.
Honestly, I can't remember.
They put on a really good show, I will say that. Speaking of new albums, guys, finally, maybe we're supposed to be getting a new Tool album for all you fans that just love Tool, which I like Tool too, but I've been waiting for a new album forever, and I've kind of given up hope, so here's to that.
I've completely given up hope. But it's saying...
I'm sorry, I gotta interrupt you for just 1 second. Okay. Speaking of cheers to that, I want to thank Joseph Michael that messaged me. If you missed our last video, it's about... I'll just touch on this really quick. Joseph Michael is the frontman of the band Witherfall, and he will be taking the place of Warren Dane for the band Sanctuary when they're on tour with Iced Earth. Well, in our last video, I talked about it, and I said, cheers to you, man. And he sent me a message on Metal4Metal that said, cheers back to you.
Oh, so he actually watched it.
He did. So thank you very much, Joseph Michael. And again, here's back to you. And this time, you don't have to message me back if you don't want to. Yeah, I really appreciate you even giving me the time of day, my friend.
Looking forward to seeing him, man. That's going to be cool.
Hell yeah. Anyway, continue. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good, man. Tool is looking to go into the studio very soon, whatever that means. Tool's drummer Danny Carey spoke to Ireland's Overdrive about the progress of the songwriting sessions for the band's A Long Way to Follow to 2006. His 10,000 Days album. God, that seems like it was so long ago.
It really does.
It really was. He said it's all coming together really well. We're hitting the studio again very soon and have a couple of gigs in May, so hopefully we'll have the album out before that. This wishful thinking at this point, I actually think I said that this time last year. So at least he understands the
He understands that he was like, oh, I think I said that last year.
Well, yeah, he said, and the year before, and the year before that, and the year before that, and the year before that. You know,
and the next day, and the next day,
and the next day. We've been
waiting.
The
next day, and the next day, and the next day. Yeah.
We've been waiting for this for a long time. That's what I'm trying to say. And who the fuck knows anymore, man? Like, who
agreed. I mean, once it comes out, it better be fucking good. We've been waiting a long time for it. What else we got, buddy?
All right. Metallica is remastering some of their more albums. So, the first album they remastered Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning.
They did that extremely huge, inexpensive box set.
Right, and then they had the Master of Puppets box set, which was awesome. I wanted that one. But they're not really having a box set for this one, but they are remastering the 595 EP, the Garage Days Revisited.
Now, tell me a little bit about the 598 EP. What actually was on
it's the first song. Okay, most people would know this from Garage Inc. This is disc 2. This is going to be the first 5 songs that are on disc 2. It's Helpless, The Small Hours, The Way, Crash Course and Brain Surgery, and Last Crest Screen Hell. So,
fucking love their cover.
Yeah, this came out a long time. This was actually the very first recording where Jason Newsted was in the band.
Right.
So this is kind of his introduction to the band before And Justice for All came out.
Fucking love their cover.
Yeah, and back in the day,
Crash Course was good too.
Like as the title suggests, it was only $5.98. But now they decided to put a 1 in front of the 5.
Give me that Lars impression.
Right. It's like, well, we're gonna put a 1 in front of the 5 now. You know, which I guess.
15, so it's 15.
It makes financial sense, I guess. You know.
I mean, I get it. I mean, that's all.
This was like back in the '80s, you know. So inflation and all that good stuff is coming to play. But there's no way in hell I am paying $16 for this CD. Not a chance.
Well, no, it's a record.
Well, they are releasing. Well,
the 12 one.
They're releasing this in a bunch.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They're releasing this on CD. They're releasing it on LP, limited edition colored LP. And then they're going to have this on cassette. It's actually being released on cassette.
Oh, okay. So
this is a ton of different formats.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Released on, and I'm not buying a single one of them.
I might buy the EP. Well, no, I probably actually won't because I already have Garage Inc.
Yeah, I'm not buying that. I actually
I don't need it.
What you said in the very beginning is I actually had the chance to buy this a while ago.
Oh, right, yeah.
And it was in the Dog Pound. Isn't that what the Cat's music? The Dog Pound, right?
Cat music.
It was like their used CD bin, whatever. I had the chance to buy it, and it was for a reasonable price, and then for whatever reason, I didn't buy it, and I regret that to this day. But actually, you got some news. We were looking up Metallica when we were thinking about this, and they have a garage sale.
Oh yeah, so Metallica had a garage sale on their website, which is just like they have like a bunch of shit like for sale. And I just want to go over some of the items that I found, and
some of them are interesting.
There's a guitar pick here.
Okay.
That was $10. This is a guitar pick for $10.
We're talking singular.
Singular.
Not a pack of guitar pick, a guitar pick.
And now it's $5.
Okay. So is it signed?
No.
Okay. So
it just says Metallica.
So it's a guitar pick that says Metallica for $5.
And then there's one with the lightning bolt.
Right.
Metallica, the M.
The M.
And it's also $5. It was $10.
Well, that's a steal.
Yeah, it's a steal.
That's a steal. Oh wait, I see 4 guitar picks. How much is it for 4 of them?
The 4 guitar picks was $30.
Oh wow, okay.
Now it's $15. 50% off.
I mean, why not? I mean,
but I just picture some kid like, oh my god, I gotta get it.
Have this.
Jimmy, you don't even play guitar. I'll learn with Metallica guitar picks, Mom. I want to talk a little bit about. They actually do have a really cool poster up here. It's like $250 for like this really kick-ass Metallica Canada poster.
Is indeed $55.
Yeah, shipping is $55.
Right.
You didn't say the magic word. Okay, there's a keychain, right?
Right.
It's a guitar string keychain.
Right.
Okay, and like you won't be able to see it.
I'll put a picture up.
We'll put a bit. It's just a little, but it's a little just keychain about that big, and it was $13. Now it's $8.
See, like in their defense, though, what I was saying about this is when I worked at the mall, that is something that would be sold at the mall for like $15.
Let me ask you a question: was there a Metallica beach ball sold at the mall?
Not that I can remember. Not that I can recall.
There's a Metallica beach ball here that was $4, and now it's $2. You know.
But what if that beach ball isn't quite big enough for my volleyball needs?
So you want to get the 48-inch, which is actually the same price.
There we go.
Now, are you a hockey fan?
I've gone to a couple Stingrays.
You think
games.
Lars likes hockey?
I mean, I have no idea. I mean, I know he likes paintings and things.
And
I know he has
he likes money.
A heart as cold as ice, so maybe.
Cold as ice.
So maybe.
Willing to sacrifice. Okay, so Metallica has a hockey pick.
A hockey puck? Okay.
Hockey puck, yeah, not hockey pick.
Right.
A hockey puck.
Right.
And it was $7, now it's $4. But it's a Metallica hockey puck.
Well,
like Lars was watching hockey and was just like, what's that thing there?
What's the sliding back and forth there? It's like, Lars, that's the hockey puck. That's the thing they use.
Why doesn't Metallica have a hockey puck?
Why not?
Why not, sir?
That's a fair question.
That's all for the garage sale. However, I will look on their accessories tab, because I found some stuff on here that I just cannot stop talking about.
All right.
Okay, so they have skateboard decks, which is cool. $85 for a skateboard deck is pretty good. I'll agree with that.
Metallica Funko Pops. Huh?
Okay, now this is where we get ridiculous. This is an Orion cooler.
All right.
65 quarts. $500.
$500 for a cooler. So that's actually even more than what are those like super expensive coolers that everybody really fucking loves?
Yetis.
The Yetis, right? The Yeti coolers.
But say you don't need all that. Say you don't need all that.
Right,
you can buy an Orion cooler that's 35 quarts, but it's $420.
Well, then why are we complaining?
Why are we
this?
bitching? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Because I mean, $400 for a cooler is a steal. You know.
Now, this is the one where I'm going to draw the line. Okay. And this is the one where I'm probably going to... This would be my last item here.
All right.
This is a leather cuff. And it's got an M on it. And
the M.
Yeah, it's got about...
Right.
It's about yay big. It goes about here, you know.
Okay.
And it is $240.
That's some genuine leather right there.
Some genuine bullshit.
Taken from I don't know, maybe like some kind of cow on the brink of extinction or something.
Yeah, like countdown to extinction.
I don't know what to say about that.
That's oh no, this is cool here. Yeah. A vinyl slip mat.
A slip mat. Oh, something for you to put your vinyl on.
Yeah, and it's $13.
Oh, okay. Well, that. All right.
Wow. Anyway, that's all we had to say about the Metallica store there. So go on the Metallica store and spend your money. It's wonderful.
Yeah, make sure that you have the Metallica branded.
You know, speaking of making fun of bands, I want to add this in real quick because I think this is funny and I think it's needs to be said. Avenged Sevenfold,
right,
is protesting the Grammys because they got a nomination for their song. I think it was The Stage. But from the Grammys, they got a nomination along with Atlas Rise and Nothing More's new single, just a couple other stuff. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about that. Adam Shadow says things like, the Grammys do not appreciate heavy metal, and the heavy metal.
Well, I mean, I can agree with that, but nobody's ever appreciated heavy metal.
Yeah, so. And that's the thing. Here's my thing. Don't protest the Grammys by not showing up. That makes you look like a pussy. Win, and then get up there and talk shit. Then I'd be like,
that would be awesome.
That'd be fucking cool. If they won
and they got up there and they just
like, we don't fucking want this award. Fuck you and fuck all that. I'd be like, no shit.
Right.
I would respect them a lot more than just going, no, we're just not going to show up. Now, I will say their tweet back to thank you for this nomination, but we won't be showing up. It was respectful, But if you're going to be protesting and you're pissed. Be pissed. Go on that stage and fucking throw your award and say fuck it,
Right.
Real metalheads will be like, fuck yeah. Maybe your average everyday fans and your politics might be like, you shouldn't have done that. But I mean, it's fucking metal, man. What happened to Avenged Sevenfold, This is the time when you need to grab your backbone and run with it.
Right.
You lost it during City of Evil. Get it back with this.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of like whenever Dee Snider from Twisted Sister like went up in front of Congress and like just chewed him out. Like he had a very intellectual argument.
Yeah. Yeah,
you know
about
what
the
I mean?
parental guidance
Right,
between,
about the parental
against
guidance
music.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
about the PMRC.
Yeah.
And like they really just left him speechless because he walked in there like
with his makeup and his tight
and they just
shit.
expected some guy just
and he had a folded up piece of paper
and he actually.
All right, that's what I got to say.
Right, and he
was
actually very articulate about what he said.
If they were to do something like that instead of just not showing up, listen, some people say, silence is better than 1,000 words. Well, not in this case. You get up there, you say your fucking piece, you say what's on your mind, what's on your heart, and you do it for heavy metal. If you were really metal, that's what you would do.
Because if you don't show up, nobody's going to even know you're supposed to be there. You know what I mean? Unless like they call you and they're just like, oh, well, they're not here. You know? Then
that's just like they just didn't show up.
Cut the
oh no!
Cut the commercial and nobody cares.
Yeah. Oh no! Let's move on to the next one. Whereas from them, don't let them move on, dog. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got to say.
I will say though that Metallica probably should win.
I do like Atlas Rise.
That's a good song.
I think the stage will win because that's just mainstream.
It is more mainstream.
Rock and roll, heavy metal, but Atlas Rise is the better song.
So
let's move on to our big news.
The big piece of news. Let me take a.
You hear Warren Song on the back? Here's not for
Slayer has officially announced
Slayer has
their
called
last
it
tour
quits.
date. Yep, they're calling it quits now. But thankfully, they are giving us one of the greatest tours I've seen in my life, honestly, since I've been going to shows. Because at first they announced, like it came out that they were announcing their farewell tour, and we were like, oh shit, what's going on?
Yeah, well, that was, and then that is the reason why we decided to do this show a little bit early because I didn't want to miss this. I wanted to give you guys the best news that we could, and this is the best news.
This is a big mother effing deal right here. So, and then it came out who they were going to be touring with, and it turns out it's going to be Lamb of God, Anthrax, Behemoth, and Testament. Like, what an amazing! Like, I could not ask for a better bunch of like opening bands.
That is really good.
That is incredible.
I've never seen I've seen Lamb of God. I've seen all those guys. Well, I haven't seen Anthrax, but I'm seeing them the 31st in Charlotte.
I've seen all these guys except for Behemoth.
I'd love to see Behemoth.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
Let's talk a little bit about Slayer, the origins of Slayer. Slayer was formed in Huntington Beach in '81.
They were
Huntington Park, California.
Yeah, it was in L. They were in L.A.
Yeah, in 1981, Kerry King, Jeff Hanneman were the original members, or the original founders. They brought in Tom Araya and of course Dave Lombardo. That was your big four of Slayer. That's your main guys. Their first record,
Show No Mercy. That's my favorite.
Show No Mercy.
My favorite one.
Wow.
To this day.
Second one, Haunting the Chapel, right?
And then the second one was
Hell Awaits.
Hell Awaits.
Okay, right. Then it was Haunting the Chapel, right?
Haunting the Chapel was like an EP.
That was just an EP. Okay. So wait a minute. It was Hell Awaits, then it was Rain and Blood.
Hell Awaits and Rain and Blood.
Okay.
Correct.
Either way, in my personal opinion, Slayer is one of those metal bands that has never put out a bad record. Even in the 90s, even in now.
The one you can argue is Diabolus and Musica, which, I mean,
but it's still an experimental, great heavy metal.
It was more modern for the time, but it did have
Bloodline.
It did have Disciple on it, which
Disciple was on God Hates Us All.
You're right, God Hates Us All. You're right,
which is a fucking killer record.
Yeah, that was another one that was just kind of out there. A lot of people kind of had a problem with it.
I liked God Hates Us All.
Yeah, I did too. Like, I remember when I first saw it, it actually had the original cover, I believe, was like the Bible, and it had like God Hates Us All, like just like written.
That was the original cover.
And then they ended up putting like a slipcase over it because people just found it too offensive.
I mean,
I liked it.
Death's Head was on Diabolus and Musica. Mm-hmm. I like that song. But wasn't there a song? I can't remember. Maybe I'm mistaken.
I'm not really good with songs anymore. Like,
there it is, Screaming from the Sky. That's what I was trying to think of.
I'm always just listening to things on Spotify now, so like I'm never like looking at the back of the CD for the songs anymore.
Well, let's get into their newer records. World Painted Blood. I love that record.
I do too.
You know, they're oh man, and then Repentless, of course, their newer record that came out.
That's a great opener.
It really is. And when we saw them, man, it was just an unbelievable feeling. It was so cool seeing them. We were on the side of Gary Holt from Exodus, who replaced the late great Jeff Hanneman.
Yeah. So I guess he's gonna have to go straight back to Exodus now, full time.
Yeah. Kerry King has said that he still wants to do music outside of Slayer when Slayer's done. Sure, but Kerry King to me, stab me if you want. Kerry King has always been a little overrated to me.
Oh, you think so?
I do think so. He's great. He's a good guitar player. He's fantastic, but a legend and all that, I don't see it. I don't buy it.
Interesting. I think he's great. I think Jeff Hammond added a lot of his influence, and Jeff Hammond was the one who responsible for a lot of the classics like Raining Blood, like that was his song.
Yeah. And I think Tom Araya is one of the most underrated bass players of all time.
I guess it is.
I put him right up there with Lemmy, for real.
I guess it is kind of like the Metallica complex in a way where, like, none of the members of Metallica are really the greatest musicians on their own, but when you put them together, they create something magical.
Well, let's talk about Dave Lombardo. I think Dave Lombardo is the greatest metal drummer ever.
He's fucking up there, yeah.
And let's talk about all the death metal that Slayer inspired. I mean, Slayer was one of the first bands that was just like fucking killer. I mean, just ridiculously fast and hard,
unrelenting,
and in your fucking face,
unrelenting, unapologetic.
Very much so. Yeah. To quote my friend Jason Dalter, who I hope you're watching, man. I love you, man. He first discovered Slayer after getting a cassette of Rain and Blood. And he had a paper route.
Nice.
He had a paper route that year, and to finish his paper route, he started playing Rain and Blood, and the first fucking thing, Angel of Death, was just and like he fucking started speeding on his fucking bike. I mean, he finished that paper route in record time.
In record time, right?
Because of Slayer. I gotta give that to him.
I imagine. Wonder if he got a raise for that, thanks to Slayer.
He probably didn't. Jason's not one to get raises, right, Jason? Yeah. Love you, man. But I mean, Slayer means something to a lot of us. It's gonna be sad somewhat that they're ending. However, they've given us
Tom Araya, because this is something that they're quitting because Tom Araya has said in the past multiple times that he's been wanting to spend more time with his family.
He wants to spend time. He homeschools his kids. He loves his family. Right. He's a great family man.
And I totally respect that now because, like I was saying, I never wanted to do anything before, but now that I have a kid, man, I really don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Man, if I win that lottery, dude, I'm just done. Like, I'm just gonna sit at my house all day, and occasionally I'm just going to go to Waffle House and read the newspaper, and that's going to be like my day, you know what I mean? So I totally get it. I totally get where he's coming from, and congratulations to him for having 30 plus years.
Congratulations to Slayer for
30 plus years in a band, and like, dude, like just retire, do your thing, man.
And here's the thing, I mean, in Slayer, they haven't had a whole lot of revolving musicians,
the revolving door of musicians.
All power to Slayer, and we can't wait to see you guys in Charlotte.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing you
June 14th. Yeah,
in Charlotte.
We will be seeing Slayer with Testament, Anthrax, Behemoth, Lamb of God, and of course the giants of fucking thrash heavy metal Slayer.
Jesus Christ!
I feel like that kid, like. Describe me your typical Slayer fan.
And he's like, fucking Slayer!
Yeah, he's just Slayer!
Carved Slayer, arm set on fire, like Slayer!
He's just like, you see a guy with a Slayer shirt, and you're just like, no, because he knows, and he's just like, no what? And he's like, you just, Slayer!
Alright, so Slayer's calling it quits, and you need to go see them now.
Yes. Alright, moving on to our topic of the week. Like I said, there's couple classic albums that came out in
this is actually an article for Medical Injection. 19 classic metal albums celebrating their 20th anniversary in 2018, and like, fuck me, man, 20 years, because this takes me back, because this is very much the beginning of me like getting into metal, like when my CD collection was only like 10 high, a lot of these were in there. So these are some of the standouts for me. There's Arch Enemy. Stigmata.
Yes.
Was on there.
Whoa, 98, right? 98. We're talking about 98.
This is 2000. This is the 20th anniversary ones.
So 1998 then.
Correct.
Okay, so I want to make sure
yeah,
because Blind Guardian's on that too. Nightfall and Middle Earth.
Nightfall. This is probably like the quintessential one on the list.
Agreed.
I listen to this album at least once a week. For since in 20 years, I don't think I've gone a week without
Children of Bodom, something wild,
amazing.
Love that record. That was the first Children of Bodom record I got on.
Right,
well, obviously.
The Sound of Perseverance,
love that record.
My God, that is a total classic. Fear Factor, Obsolete. They were,
and that was the only record from them I liked, to be honest.
But yeah, I mean,
I love Fear Factory.
Fear Factory this was actually the first Fear Factory album I ever bought, and this was another one where I judged it by its cover.
True.
I just thought this was a cool looking metal album.
Really cool.
And I bought it, and it was really cool. And Iced Earth,
Something Wicked, my favorite Iced Earth record. Cornfall, the Leader, came out in 98 too.
That was a game changer. That
really was.
The whole new metal movement, which give or take for what it was.
Yeah.
Mechanical Animals, which is personally my favorite Marilyn Manson album.
Yeah.
Love that one. Very underrated album.
Of course, the big one, Metallica. Well, one of the big ones, Metallica Garage Inc.
Of course, which kind of lines up with the 598 EP.
Yeah.
Right there. I still remember going to Cat's Music the day that came out, and I bought that.
Oh man, I forgot Monster Magnet came out in '98 too.
Monster Magnet, man.
Power Trip, that was cool shit.
Man, it's been a long time since I thought about Monster Magnet.
Yeah, I like. They were opening for Maiden when we saw them, but they
really?
Yeah, they were opening for Maiden in America. Then when they went to South America, it was Anthrax. Then when they came back over, it was Megadeth.
Wow, I did not know Monster Magnet was still a thing.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I was maybe thinking of like Power Man 5000. Do you remember that band?
Oh, I remember that band.
Yeah, that was like Rob Zombie's
stepbrother
or something. Yeah, it's like something like that.
Well, speaking of Rob Zombie, you know what else came out in '98? Hillbilly Deluxe!
That was another one of my first metal albums of all time. One of my first 10 CDs I ever bought. Was,
that fucking album cover, man.
It was great. It's one of the best album covers ever in the world.
Be my name.
As we were talking about Slayer, Diabolus and Musica.
Came out in '98, yeah. Oh, System of a Down's first record came out in '98.
Came out then. I've never been a big System of a Down fan.
I always liked them. Hypnotize is my favorite record.
Yeah, and then if we're
gonna fast forward 10 years to 2008, because there's some killer records came out in '08
so
too.
We're gonna go to 2008 here, and it makes me think that like really this is another topic we're talking about where like metal in the '90s like was just so good, you know, because now we're getting into the 2000s and there's some good stuff, but man, in the '90s there was some amazing shit. But okay. So in 2008 we had M&M Twilight of the Thunder God.
Love that fucking record.
Right. You had
Bullet from a Valentine.
Scream Fire.
I like that record. I'm not a huge Bullet fan, but I mean Screaming Fire is a killer record.
I think I have that burnt somewhere. I think I downloaded it.
Waking the Demon. Fucking that's good shit. You know.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Oh, Meshuggah came out with the record that year. That one was all right. Yeah, that was all right. They're okay to me.
I don't really know how to. I've never been a big fan of them. I don't even know how to pronounce their albums' names. Let's hear Death Magnetic.
Another Metallica record, Death Magnetic, which I prefer over the later.
You prefer that one? See, I prefer Death Magnetic.
No, I prefer Death Magnetic over.
Okay, I do too.
Over Hardwired, cool.
Yeah, just with Hardwired, I felt that "Spit Out the Bone" is the best song they've done in 20 years. But overall, Death Magnetic,
yeah, Broken, Beaten, and Scarred, and
great song. Yeah.
Love it.
My Apocalypse, the last one is.
I love that. I love that record too.
Yeah, Opeth Watershed. That was actually the really last great Opeth album they put out, in my opinion, before they kind of started going on the more progressive.
Yeah.
Path where Michael Ankerfeld just stopped using his death metal growls. And
I can agree to that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a really, really good one there, and Slipknot, All Hope Is Gone. I really have nothing to say.
That's an okay record.
I have nothing to say.
I wasn't a big fan, but you know what? Testament, Formation of Damnation. This is probably the last one I really have to say about it. Testament, the Formation of Damnation. Fucking love that record. That's a good record.
Yeah, that's
Chuck Billy really can do anything, man. He can really sing anything.
Yep, and
Whitechapel put out a record that year. That one was all right.
So that's really all they got on the list, but some good stuff on there, man. It makes me feel really old just thinking that. Wow, 20 years ago, I was 13 years old, and I was like, back then, like you didn't have the internet, you know.
Sure.
Like I think I've said this before, but I feel like an old geezer. But like you didn't know what to buy.
I'm an analog man.
Yeah, right.
Analog man.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
analog man. Right. It's just like And like you literally had to go to the store and just judge things by their cover.
Sure.
Like you would hear.
That's how I got Number of the Beast.
Right. You would hear things on the playground. You would hear things from your friends in school. Like your friend's older brother would have an album that like was supposed to be like, oh man, you're not supposed to listen. This is supposed to be satanic or like crazy. It has the parental advisory sticker on it, and you're like, oh wow, I'm really not supposed to have this. And nowadays it's just like everything is at your fingertips on the internet. You can just go on YouTube and just literally listen to anything you want. And then you can buy it if you want. If you don't, you don't buy it. I mean, back then, like you really had to
buy it.
You had to read magazines and stuff to like and read reviews of things back then. But yeah, man, dude, like when I was
sometimes I miss that time.
When I was 13 years old, man, that was rough, man. But man, I dug through it, and here I am.
Here we are.
Here I am.
Guys, I really appreciate you guys joining us for a kick-ass episode of Metal4Metal. Really great news this week. Give you a little insight on what's going on. Okay, so next week I will be in Philadelphia, and I will be in Charlotte to see Havoc, Anthrax, and Killswitch Engage, which, by the way, Killswitch Engage is headlining that show, which means I can get the fuck out of the pit.
So you're not going to stick around for Killswitch?
I'm going to stick around, but I mean, I'm going to fuck around. I'm going to fuck back there.
Go to the bar or something?
Yeah, because Anthrax, all right, my goal for Anthrax is to, one, get them a Metal4Metal business card, which I want to thank Kevin Ellis for.
Right, Kevin's going to be our lifeline for that.
Which,
right?
Kevin, I don't want to take away from your experience, so I really appreciate you just giving them a card. Like, thank you very much.
What if they spit in his face or something?
I let Kevin spit in my face.
Okay, that's fair.
That's hot.
That's fair.
Anyway, Kevin Ellis, if you're watching this, man, I hope you are. Like, I just really appreciate you.
And hopefully we'll see you at the Ice Earth show.
We will see you at the Ice Earth show, but I will see you at the Anthrax show. But what's happening is I will be doing a live video on Facebook just about, what's going on in Philly and Charlotte with seeing Anthrax and all that. And my man here will be doing
I'm going to do some kind of retrospective on something. I think I'm going to do something on like 90s heavy metal because that's just something that strikes a chord with me. So maybe just like a 5 or 10 minute video.
Yeah, it's going to be really
something
nice.
Like
so
that.
This is the first time we're going to be doing a separated video.
Yeah. His is going to be on Facebook. Mine will be on YouTube. So it'll give you something on both things to check out. That'd be cool.
Most definitely. Well, to leave us with this episode, again, I want to say thank you guys very much for joining us and thank you for your support. Please continue to like, comment, subscribe down below. To leave us with this episode, I want your best Slayer roar. Slayer! That was good. All right, now mine.
That was off the cuff.
That was off the cuff.
Jesus.
My Futurama. It's okay.
It worked.
It does. It goes back together. That's fine. All right.
But see, that's like the third time it's been broken.
It has, but no, it's resilient. All right. Slayer!
That was pretty good.
I just can't. You see a Slayer fan and
If we got, do you think we should? Because I think the backstage passes to the Slayer show are like $400 or something. But if we get them, do you think we should carve Slayer into our arms to set them on fire?
Yes, that's fucking.
I'm down with that. I'm totally down.
After I get a good tax return, man, maybe I'll just fucking buy them. I don't care. You remember after the Iron Maiden show we saw in Raleigh, you were like, I dare you to yell out Slayer, and I was like, Slayer, and there was a dude on the other side. I was like, yeah! It was fucking funny. Well, guys, thank you guys so much for joining us, man, and we will see you guys next week for a continuation of videos, again, from mine on Facebook, his on YouTube, and I will see you guys. I'll be reporting back from Philly, so...
right, and I'll be at my house.
With his child.
With the children.
So I'll see you guys in fucking Philadelphia. Good night, guys. Metal!